So, this is gonna be late, but I thought I'd do a review of the Steven Crowder versus Sam Seder quote-unquote debate. Now, obviously, this really wasn't a debate, which was part of the reason why I was hesitant to do a review of this. But, honestly, I just decided to do it. Because I feel like it, and I like doing debate reviews. Anyway, so this really shouldn't be called a debate review, because this really wasn't a debate at all. But, for the purposes of this video, I'm just going to treat it as if it were a debate and review it. Because, you know, I just wanted to comment on it because I thought it was interesting, even though this happened over a month ago. Anyway, let's get started.
COVID. Ethan has talked about that in the past. So now, without further delay, in its full context, a little bit of a surprise, the debate with Ethan Klein.
Okay, this is the behind-the-scenes footage that Crowder thankfully provided on his channel.
Yeah, because this mic hasn't been adjusted, guys.
You know, I'll fast forward through this part, since this is the boring part.
Hold on, let me adjust this because I have to set it to human height since Dave was doing it. I can see some weird contact thing there. Okay. Right. All right, let me check this. Check 1, 2, 3. Good. All right. Okay, you guys gonna call him and sound check him? Yeah. I bet this guy's gonna do anything he can to avoid actually debating. Yeah.
Okay, this is significant. This is significant. Because the fact that Steven Crowder is behind the scenes, and we know this from the footage that he provided on his channel, the fact that Steven Crowder behind the scenes is already saying, yeah, H3H3 is going to do everything he can to avoid a debate. This shows that Steven Crowder knows that something is up, and yet he decided to debate H3H3 anyway. So that's significant because we're going to touch on that later.
I think he wants to do anything that he possibly can to, but yeah, let me know when you want to. I don't know.
Wait, when you want me to admit him into the room, I'll just do
Sure, well, yeah, I'll do it. You guys do the sound check. I don't want to sit there and talk with their producer, Dan, and stuff, but I don't think this guy wants to do this. I wouldn't be surprised if he's probably going to bring someone else on who's a producer, like a fan of that Seder character. Yeah, that'd be...
That's significant. That comment right there. Steven Crowder just called it. Steven Crowder just predicted before this happened that H3H3 would ambush him with a Sam Seder debate. This is significant. And I'm going to tell you why this is significant right now. Everyone on the left, when this happened about a month ago, they were all saying, oh, Steven Crowder is a coward. He wouldn't debate Sam Seder. He's scared of Sam Seder. But Steven Crowder went into the debate with H3H3 knowing that there was a good chance that he would be ambushed with a Sam Seder debate. And yet he did it anyway. This proves, or rather disproves, that the hypothesis that Steven Crowder is cold feet and he's scared of debating Sam Seder. If Steven Crowder was actually scared of debating Sam Seder, as people like Bosch claimed, then Crowder would not have done this. If he knew, which we know that he did given his statement just now, that there would be a high chance of him getting ambushed into a debate with Sam Seder. So the fact that Steven Crowder did this debate, knowing full well that he was probably going to end up talking to Sam Seder, is proof that he is not scared of Sam Seder, and proof that he is not cold feet Crowder as people like Vosh accused him of. Because if it were the case that Steven Crowder had cold feet, he wouldn't have done this at all. He wouldn't have done the debate with H3H3 at all. So that disproves the thesis that Crowder is scared of debating Sam Seder. And by the way, if it looks like I'm taking Steven Crowder's side, I don't like Steven Crowder. I'm just going to say this right now. He has a lot of cringy, sort of like mainstream Republican takes on things that I disagree with. So I'm no fan of Crowder. But we have to look at this objectively. There is no way that Steven Crowder is actually scared of Sam Seder and that he got cold feet in this debate. Because if he did have cold feet, he wouldn't have done the debate. He would not have done the debate to begin with.
Hey guys, can you hear us?
Okay, this is the backstage shit.
Hello.
That's really
how's it
not that
going?
interesting.
You hear us well, or?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Perfect.
You and you?
Yeah, you guys sound good.
Okay, great. Who am I speaking with?
This is producer Tim.
Tim?
Okay, now we have H3H3 getting on, and he's speaking with one of Steven Crowder's guys.
Yes.
Hi, Tim. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Are you one of the guys that dresses up in the crowd, or are you not on screen?
I'm running the audio board.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're not the Peter Pan guy or anything like that.
Peter Pan? No. No. Hold on one second. We'll get Steven in here momentarily.
Okay. Thank you. Oh.
Did Dave leave food crumbs on this thing? It's like a crescent moon of filth.
Hi, Steven.
Hey, Ethan, how you doing, brother?
Hey, I just want to say on a serious note that I'm glad your wife is okay. I heard you had a little bit of a issue
thanks.
with your wife.
Well, she's pregnant with twins, so
Yeah.
it's like well. By the way, congratulations too. I know you guys are
Thank you.
in the same process. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
They switch
Can
and
you
they
turn down a
breach.
little bit?
Oh, sorry, am I too loud for you?
No, I just told Dan, our producer, to turn the volume down a little bit. You're
I'm gonna
good.
take out my gum.
Yeah.
Yeah, they switch and they breach, and so she
They're
actually-
rolling around.
Yeah. I mean, at first they said C-section, and then they said,
no.
oh, we might be able to do a natural birth, but they often do C-section. And then they said, oh yeah, and then they said, no, wait, now the other one's breached, and the boy's just a dick.
Okay, this small talk, this is significant because it demonstrates how much of a piece of crap Ethan Klein is. Ethan Klein was willing to go on Crowder's show and make like small talk with him and pretend that Ethan cared about Crowder's personal life with issues going on with his wife and kids and so on, and make small talk with him about the wife and kids, and have Crowder do the same with him, and fake having a genuine moment of connection between the two, just so that Ethan can pull off an ambush with Sam Seder. That, to me, is very snake-like, pretending that you care about somebody's personal issues in order to get them into like an ambush with a debate with somebody that they don't want to actually talk to. That, to me, is scummy.
Just will not stop kicking the other one. It's like I would say it's like a junior suite apartment. He keeps kicking the girl, and so then the girl wakes up. So
Oh.
Yeah.
So how far in is she?
she's due late July, early August.
Oh, wow. That's coming right up.
Yeah, and I've got a big surgery July 1st, so I'm trying to get everything done in a hurry.
Is that your first?
It is. Yeah,
oh.
it is. Yeah, we talked about it on the show quite a bit. My wife had a basic operation for well, I won't talk about it. She probably won't. But basically, then she woke up with something called GBS. So we kind of, it wasn't really fertility issues; it was a physical issue. And GBS actually paralyzes you from the waist down. So
That's what she was experiencing?
yeah, when she came out, just because they
Holy
put her under
crap.
and so it's interesting. Like I'm like a pro-vaxxer, generally speaking, but she can't even get a flu shot. It's one of the few conditions because of the GBS. It's like a neurological condition where she has to be careful with any vaccine. So it's just been a weird navigation. But this is your second, right?
Yeah, this is gonna be our second. So we've been through it.
Yeah.
But and it's just one. It was supposed to be three, but the one child cannibalized everyone, and he just gained their energies to become the ultimate human being.
I feel like that's what happens with the Olsen twins. I'm convinced that one of them is evil. And
One of them ate the third one.
Yeah, something happened there. It seems like whenever you see them in pictures, there's one who's more disturbing. But
Maybe you're right.
But all right, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on and doing this, and doing this. A lot of people don't, so just talking, avoiding kind of the social media pissing contest drama. Yeah, are you ready to go?
So I just want to make one clarification. So in terms of, so we're both going to record it, and then we can use it wherever we want, on your show, on my show, whatever, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
good, yeah? Okay.
yeah. And we can send you the file if you we want because we have the master file, everything. So
yeah, I think we're good, right? And we're recording it on our end.
Okay. Yeah, we've never used Zoom either. Did you ever get sold on that Skype TX box? Remember when that came out?
Oh no, I've always had such a pain with Skype that Zoom's always been really good. So
well, the Skype TX box was like from Newtek, I think, and they sold us on that. They said this is what Jimmy Kimmel uses and all these people. And
Skype.
Again, this demonstrates how much of a massive piece of crap Ethan Klein is, that he would like purposefully make like small talk with Crowder and pretend to have like a connection with him just to lure him into an ambush.
Well, Skype TX, it's like a box. It's almost like, remember the Commerce boxes? No, it sucks. So what we've had to do is we just have Mac Minis set up, and Skype has played well with those, but not the exclusively designed Skype TX box that we paid whatever premium for.
Yeah, Skype, I don't trust Skype. Skype has always sucked.
Yeah. All right, well, I'll just...
and then okay, so we're going to record it, and then the topics are just like, we said about authority with the vaccine, and there was something else you mentioned? I don't know how...
Well, I just thought, however you want to do it, I thought that since that was kind of the subject that got us into a tiff, that we could talk about sort of the CDC, sort of, medical authorities, and you tell me where you disagree with me, and then also kind of big tech, because that ties in, the CDC, World Health Organization. And I'll just I'll introduce it to my, I have a little bit of a different audience, so let them know kind of who you are, what's going on, and if you want to do the same, that's fine, but...
yeah, of course, we'll let them know.
All right.
Okay,
go. And,
all right.
I'll give you a countdown, and then I'll 3, 2... All right, okay, I'm really glad to have...
I'm gonna go to like normal. I'm gonna go to normal speed just because this is the best part of this entire freaking thing. So yeah.
I have my next guest on the show, and I've always said this. I always respect people who enter into the arena, and we've had.
Okay. Like I said before, I'm no fan of Crowder, but the fact that Crowder is going into this knowing that there's a high likelihood that H3H3 is going to ambush him into a debate with Sam Seder, and we know that Crowder knows that there's a good chance he's going to get ambushed because he said so before he started recording. The fact that Crowder is still doing this and going under the assumption that H3H3 is going to be honest and actually debate him, to me that shows something good about Crowder. Now, like I said, I'm no fan of Crowder, so I don't want to sound like I'm a fan of his and I'm not a simp for him or anything. But the fact that Crowder is extending the opportunity to H3H3 to actually have a productive conversation, to me that shows that Crowder is the one being intellectually honest in this whole situation. Even though Crowder, yes, he has a lot of stupid, like, mainstream conservative opinions, like normie con opinions, conservative Inc. style opinions. So far, Crowder is the bigger man of the situation.
A lot of debates on this show, which is different from like a Change My Mind where we sit down and have conversations. But my old Brazilian jiu-jitsu coach always said, if you come a switch, we go switch. You go spicy, we're going to do a little spicy. So we always try and keep it as respectful as possible. And I really do appreciate the guy making the time because a lot of people has a huge YouTube channel, several YouTube channels, one of the OGs. A lot of people watch him. You know him, some of you like him, some of you don't. Same can be said for me. Ethan Klein from H3H3. Ethan, thanks, man, for making the time.
You're very welcome, and I just want to say, I know you called me, you said that I would be a layup.
I think I used something like that. Yeah.
And I think you're right, because I don't think I'm a very good debater. I think you know that.
Okay, so H3H3 starts off with accusing Crowder of purposefully trying to get a easy win on H3H3, and therefore implicitly laying out the justification for the Sam Seder ambush. From different people, there are like multiple contradictory stories of what happened behind the scenes. People on the conservative side claim that H3H3 challenged Crowder to a debate first. Others claim it was Crowder who challenged H3H3. I don't know. There are like multiple contradictory things that people say. But according to H3H3's side of the story, it was Crowder that challenged H3H3. to a debate first. So H3H3, at least if his side of the story is true, is saying, oh, you know, you were trying to get an easy win on me, so I'm justified in ambushing you.
So I didn't want to make it too easy for you.
Oh, okay.
So I've prepared.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So what we were going to
Dan,
talk
whenever
about
you're ready.
is
Okay, H3H3 is now this tilt of the head and this wink thingy that he's doing, he's signaling to his other guy to get Sam Seder on. Like, that's kind of obvious, to be honest, that he's doing that. And Steven Crowder does comment on this, but we all know that's what's going on. Like, he's signaling to his producer or whoever to get Sam Seder on.
What we were going to talk about is, you know, the initial quote that happened. I think
he did the freaking like turn of the head with the wink, with like the slight head of the nod to signal the producer to get Sam Seder on.
looking off there. The initial quote that kind of was turned into...
And here it is. Here it is. They got Sam Seder on. And we're now at the, arguably the funniest part of this entire freaking situation.
To a little bit of a meme, which wasn't intentional, and was you saying you don't even have to think about it regarding the CDC. And I disagree with that. I think people should think about it. I believe, and we talked about this through Playful Ribbing, in an aggregation of medical authorities and scientific voices to make an informed and rational decision. So where do you think that I'm wrong on that?
Steven, do you know that the Spartans are like practice man love with children?
Oh, geez.
Okay, it is at this point that Steven Crowder drops the act and he realizes that it is now a certainty that H3H3 is avoiding the debate. So Steven Crowder is now going to morph from extending from trying to hope that H3H3 is going to have a productive conversation to, well, what happened, well, trying to manage the situation that he got himself in.
Okay, so this is what's going to happen. What did I tell you? He was going to do anything he could to avoid... Oh, there he is! Oh, no! Sam Seder! What a f***ing nightmare!
Thank you, Steven.
Okay, that was definitely the funniest part of the debate. You know, a lot of leftists were making fun of Crowder, and kind of rightly in my opinion, because this was funny. Even as someone who hates the left, this was objectively funny. But I'm going to tell you right now, if this happened to a leftist, if say for the sake of argument, Hunter Avallone were ambushed into a debate with, let's just say, Nick Fuentes, and Hunter Avallone yelled, "Oh no, Nick Fuentes, what a fucking nightmare." Trust me, the left would not be laughing. They would be screaming at the top of their lungs that Nick Fuentes ambushed them into a debate, and it would be the right that would be laughing at Hunter Avallone.
I had no idea this was going to happen!
Okay, Crowder, you did. You said you freaking said before you went live that H3H3 was going to do this, so you knew this was going to happen.
I thought Ethan was a stand-up guy. This is where we are. Yeah,
well,
Dave, remember I told you? I said, I guarantee you he's going to do anything he can to avoid the debate.
Well, I just think he believes that he should debate you.
No, he doesn't. He just takes advantage of women with, mental health issues. Ethan Klein doesn't stand up and
This is a personal attack.
to his own fighting.
I gotta say,
It's just hilarious. Let's bring on FM.
That you would do anything to avoid talking to me. I think the point.
Does
Yes,
that
that's
include Joe Rogan?
Yeah, Joe Rogan and Ben
Rubin
and Dave
Ben
Rubin and
Shapiro?
Okay, like I said before, Steven Crowder, as we saw from the backstage footage, knew that there was a high likelihood that he would be ambushed into a debate with Sam Seder. So this proves that Steven Crowder isn't scared of Sam Seder and isn't doing everything that he can to avoid talking to Sam Seder, because if he actually was scared of Sam Seder, he wouldn't have put himself in this situation to begin with. So this suggests that there is some other ulterior motive for Steven Crowder not debating Sam Seder besides the fact that besides the thesis that Steven Crowder is scared of debating Sam Seder, but that Crowder doesn't want to explicitly say for whatever reason. And my further evidence for this is that Steven Crowder mentions various other people who don't want to debate Sam Seder. And the Quartering actually talked about this when this happened, where a lot of other people on the sort of mainstream conservative, cringy, like conservative Inc. part of the right wing are refusing to debate Sam Seder. So this implies that there's some other reason why big conservative figures, mainstream conservative figures like Crowder and so on, aren't debating Sam Seder, besides other than being scared of him.
Jordan Peterson and Noam Chomsky and Sam Harris, everyone's been avoiding.
And not just attempting
Sam
to get
Seder.
your audience by jumping in.
Well, I debated with Charlie Kirk. Steven, I mean, it's about issues.
It's about issues,
Talk
yeah.
about those issues.
That's what you're
I
doing
think you have
here.
some valid points.
You're so clever. I
that
had
think
no
we should
idea
discuss.
that you were taking your show off early last time, coming in today with your pig pen peanuts
I
eyes.
wish every.
Okay, first of all, that was a personal attack. But secondly, that's significant because Steven Crowder just admitted, at least implicitly, that he or somebody else working with him monitors Sam Seder's show to make sure that this type of thing wouldn't happen.
You take those off, are they velveteen
really are.
buttons?
They're just
Well, you must have
black
been
eyes,
very worried
aren't they?
about
Like,
this, Steven. I don't know
no
why.
one's
You-
worried
No,
about
come on,
it. It's
Sam.
why I didn't want to do it.
Well, let's have
Sam,
the
come
debate.
on.
If
I'll
no
tell you
one's
what. I have a
worried, let's do
general.
this.
I have a general rule.
This is a great
I don't start a debate
opportunity
based
to-
with people on a lie. And how
Or
about you get
sabotaging.
How about you get to a
Steven,
30th
show
of the
yourself,
audience
you
share?
coward. Steven, show
A
yourself.
30th of the
Don't show your
audience.
co-host.
Ethan, you should show.
Okay, wait, let me go back to this. So this is a bullshit excuse on the part of Crowder. Sam Seder has roughly around 1 million subscribers. So even though he's not nearly as big as Crowder, Sam Seder is a fairly big YouTuber. Now, his view count may not be nearly as big as his subscriber count, but Sam Seder is not like a small YouTuber. He's not like some of the people that I hang out with. Sam Seder's fairly large, and he's large enough to actually have his own studio. So Sam Seder isn't a nobody. Crowder, this is not the real reason why Crowder isn't debating Sam Seder.
I have a general rule.
This is a great
I don't start a
opportunity
debate based
to-
with people on a lie. And how
Or
about you get
sabotaging.
how about you get to a
Steven,
30th
show
of the
yourself,
audience
you
share?
coward. Steven,
Okay, H3H3 is saying that Crowder is a coward now and that he should show himself. But again, I really want to emphasize this point. If Crowder really was cold feet, if he really was a coward, he would not have debated H3H3 in the first place, since we know that there was a strong likelihood that Crowder knew that there was a strong likelihood that H3H3 would do this. Furthermore, as the other dude is going to point out, it's Ethan that's being the coward here. Ethan agreed to debate Crowder, so Ethan is the one backing out.
show
A
yourself.
30th of the
Don't show your
audience.
co-host.
Ethan, you should show
Steven,
yourself.
and-
Ethan, how can you respect yourself
Ethan,
as a
you
man,
believe
brother?
in something so
Steven,
strongly that
Steven,
you're
you
not
are such
willing
a
to
coward.
debate.
Stop showing your little leprechaun
you-
co-host.
Right, right.
Hey,
Hey, Ethan, come on, Ethan. Why do you have to bring on a guy who has a 30th of the viewership of yourself?
Saddest thing I've ever heard. So you have a guy
Just
with
show
less
Steven.
viewers to come on to debate him because you. Why don't you
obviously,
get
if I'm a-
Apparently he had to think about it, bro.
If I'm a
Yeah, he had to
layup and
think
not a
about it.
debater,
Well, look, you're the one who
You're the
called.
one
You're
that
the one who got
started the
personal and
debate. You're
started
the one
it.
that got angry about it.
Look,
It's a debate.
Hold on a second. All right, hold on a second. Let me
Alright,
hear
let's
what Pigpen has to say here really quickly.
Fair enough.
But
Show
Ethan,
Steven.
look, I don't. Hold on a second, Ethan. This is because initially I came out here to
you.
talk with Ethan. Ethan, come on, man. Look, the same reason that I haven't ever had a conversation with Sam Seder is the same reason that Joe Rogan, Sam Harris, Brett Weinstein, Dave Rubin, Ben Shapiro don't owe him anything. It's based on a lie, Ethan. Just like you
What's the
claiming
lie?
my Ethan,
What's
you
the
claiming
lie?
my booker
What's the
reached
lie,
out to you,
Steven?
Ethan, when you know that's
Steven,
not
what's
true.
the lie?
There's no one ducking
What's the
you,
lie?
Sam.
Why
I've
are you
never.
so afraid?
Sam.
I think you're a
I can
smart
call out
guy.
Mike
I
Tyson.
don't understand
It doesn't mean that I'm ducking
you
him.
are so worried about
Why do you feel that?
this.
Why do you
honestly
feel that
don't.
anyone, Sam? Why do you feel that anyone owes you airtime when you have a 40th of the audience and you've been doing the show
I don't
for
think
10?
any-
No, but again, this is a bullshit excuse. Sam Seder is a fairly big YouTuber. He may not be as big as Crowder, but he's a fairly big YouTuber in terms of subscribers. The guy is successful enough on YouTube to actually get his own studio. So this is a bullshit excuse on the part of Crowder, and I think this is to cover up the real sort of behind-the-scenes motive as to why Crowder doesn't want to debate Seder.
Times
He
as
owes me
longer.
airtime. I think that Ethan has just given it to me.
Right.
I didn't ask him for it.
Right. No,
And
you've been
so
begging for it for
the
a
real
long time with
question is,
everyone
begging
bigger
for
than
it.
yourself.
why are
Yeah,
you
he
so
found a
He
way
can't
in.
build an
engaging
audience,
with me?
and so what happens is he
Why are
uploads.
you-
This is bullshit. Seder can build an audience. The guy has like around 1 million subscribers, if I remember correctly, and the guy is like successful enough to actually have his own studio with an actually decent mic.
15
worried
times
about-
more,
Do you
has
think
less than
your
a 50th of the
audience-
audience.
Well, that's why he wants
Do
to
you think
debate
that
you,
your
is so he can
audience-
build his
Sam,
audience.
Sam, come on.
Do you
Where's,
think your audience
Yeah.
cares that I only have 1 million subscribers and you have what, 6 or 7
I
million
think. Let me answer.
subscribers?
Can I answer your
I don't
question?
think
Can I
they
answer your
do.
question? Can I answer your question? Do you want me to answer your
Sure.
question? My audience would say Sam who? Just like Joe Rogan's audience and Ben.
Again, this is bullshit. Well, first of all, Crowder has done debates with like random college kids, so he didn't care about their subscribers then. Number one. Number two, this is not like a YouTuber with less than 1,000 subscribers. This is not. Sam Seder is not like some of the NRX channels that I've talked to. Sam Seder is not like some of the YouTube channels that exist within Neo Reaction where they have less than 1,000 subscribers or around 1,000 subscribers. Or even mine. Sam Seder he has like over 1 million subscribers if I remember correctly, and he can actually have his own studio. So Sam Seder is not a nobody.
Shapiro's
Now
and
they
Dave
all
Rubin.
know who I
Now
am.
they all know who you
just
are because
introduced
you
me.
had to
Because
shoehorn
your
yourself
audience
into another
brought
coward
yourself
show.
into another
College
show.
students every day that you do
Why
that,
are we-
change
Hold on a
my
second.
mind.
Hold on a second.
They don't know who
This
those
is another
college
lie. This
students
is
are.
another lie.
It
The
is.
cha- let me
What difference
clarify,
would it be?
Sam. Let me clarify, Sam. The change my mind. Everyone knows on the show, right?
Yes.
We've had
How
professors
did
on the.
you know I
this is
ended
what's.
my
he's not
show
going to talk.
early last week, Steven? If your
Because
audience
you're an
doesn't even know
idiot,
me,
and how?
Okay, even if I were to accept the premise that Sam Seder is an idiot, which, I mean, given the fact that given some of his political opinions, yeah, but that's completely irrelevant to the question Sam Seder was asking.
Half
How
of
did
your
you know
staff
that?
doesn't like
You
you.
watch my
Because I'm a
show?
diehard fan.
Yes, it's because
I
he's a
watch it all the
diehard
time.
fan.
Well,
There,
if
I had
you're a
heard of you.
diehard fan-
Oh my gosh. Crowder was joking about Sam Seder about him being a diehard fan, but Sam Seder's about to like take it seriously. He doesn't Sam Seder doesn't understand sarcasm.
But I just met you.
Why
Congratulations,
not have
Sam
me
Seder's fan.
And
I'm just a
Steven have a
huge fan.
conversation.
I like.
Well,
I
right
will
now,
talk
every time I
about
try and
the
talk,
issues
you're
that you wanna
interrupting,
talk
Sam.
about,
Yeah, and
Steven.
Right now, I'm trying to talk with you. You're interrupting,
You
Sam.
bombarded the show to
You
debate.
go
bombarded.
ahead.
You bombarded my show under a false pretense. You claimed that everyone, just like you
Bombarded.
claimed that I ducked a debate with you.
But okay, this is actually true. Sam Seder did ambush Crowder under a false pretense. That is right.
under a false pretense. Have I ever?
That is what the Politicon people told
Oh,
me.
is that
I
what they
played
told
the
you?
audio.
Okay. Notice the sudden change in Crowder's body language. Before, Crowder's body language was like fairly confrontational. But Sam Seder just said some, and I don't know the whole backstory, but Sam Seder mentioned something that the people at Politicon told him, and Crowder, either realizing or thinking that the information that Politicon told Sam Seder was false, immediately changed his body language to signal that Crowder actually has an upper hand now. This sort of like ooh body language. I don't know how to describe it, but notice that sudden change in body language. This is indicating that Crowder thinks he can jump on a mistake Sam Seder made when talking.
So you're just lazy with your research?
And if big tech is...
You continue with the lie. You need to research and say, did Steven ever accept? Let me explain to you. Let me explain to you.
All right, now Crowder's body language is back to being confrontational.
Let me explain to you. Hey, whoa. Sam, sweetheart. Sam, fake stand-up comic who we can't find any footage about online. Let me finish.
That's significant. Steven Crowder literally just admitted that they were looking for footage of Sam Seder online.
I'm not a stand-up comic.
Oh, you're not? Okay, that makes sense, because everything that I've seen is incredibly unfunny and unentertaining, which may explain the audience numbers.
Irony alert.
Comedian.
How much have you watched of my stuff, Steven, that you think that
can I
your
answer your
audience
question?
wouldn't appreciate our discussing things?
Samuel, can I answer your question?
Yes.
So you have gone on, you've done the same thing with other comics. Everyone has a bigger audience than you. Because you said, I want to speak with Steven Crowder. You believe that at some point there was some acceptance? When have I ever done a Politicon? Ever? When have I as a matter of fact, in the last decade, I haven't done a single political conference. I hosted CPAC for 4 years and stopped because they suck. They don't pay and they're full of losers. And you've been clamoring for it, and it's a lie.
Gavin told me that you dropped out of doing his show because
this is just hearsay and gossip.
How can he say
I've never met more of a woman.
Career when he wants to keep...
Okay, that was actually funny.
Debating.
I don't know. It's just hard. All right. Okay.
Let's talk about the
So,
issue,
Ethan,
the
do you want to have a
CDC.
conversation, Ethan?
About the
talk about
vaccine,
big tech.
because you
Ethan,
were
do you
so
want to have a
strong.
conversation? You're going to hide.
You felt so
Absolutely,
strongly
I
about
do.
it. So
Big
why
tech.
are you hiding behind Sam Seder?
Oh, no.
Have
no,
a conversation
no, me and Sam are aligned. I'm
with
not
him.
hiding.
Well, you're just a liar,
Oh, so you're a
Ethan.
liar.
Because remember we said, hold on a second.
Debate.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
sort of feels
It's
like you guys
ridiculous.
are the ones who are hiding.
Really? Hiding? No. This is actually.
If Steven Crowder was the one that was hiding, Steven Crowder, and I'm going to make this point again because a lot of leftists are accusing Crowder of being a coward. If Crowder really was a coward, he would not have gotten himself in this situation to begin with.
Actually,
Who snuck in on you?
Who's the guy who never appears on stage, never does a live show,
But is a
never
comic.
never even allows a shadow of comedy to be perceived on his program? It's just hiding.
Right.
Everything we do is out in the open. H3, you know
Steven, you're wearing
that we
a holster.
agreed.
So what?
Hold on a second, yeah?
Okay, again, this part of the conversation and that other brief part of the conversation where Politicon came up, these are the only two times where we notice significant changes in Crowder's body language, where Crowder stops being confrontational and starts becoming more, let's just say, relaxed. Because now Crowder is sort of in his zone and doesn't have to worry about, let's just say, fighting Seder, and now he can concentrate on the completely irrelevant point about why Crowder is wearing a holster to, let's be honest, LARP as a Second Amendment supporter.
So? I want to normalize responsible gun ownership. Is that your debate? No wonder you had to bring in a hack for you.
You want to call it a...
Crying out loud. That was his debate strategy.
Should we write it for you?
You have a holster, bro. You have a holster. As he takes advantage.
Okay, in all fairness to H3H3, if you're wearing a holster on your YouTube show to LARP as a Second Amendment supporter, that is cringe. And I say this as someone who's fairly right-wing on gun issues.
Advantage of mentally ill women for a show that just is dwindling. All right, okay. All right, Sam, you got it. You got it. I hope you have a wonderful highlight reel. Hope you enjoy Politicon.
Hold on. Let me just make
Hope you enjoy Politicon, Ethan. We'll release the private
Yeah, you
messages.
take it easy.
All right, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. It's adorable. Hey, Sam, one thing before I go. Can you take off your glasses? One thing before I go. Can you take off your glasses?
We just want to see if
I just want to see if you take them off, if you have the Velveteen Rabbit buttons. That's the only thing I'm curious about. It's the only interesting part about it.
Or if there's a soul.
Just take off the...
Okay. A lot of people on the left speculated that Crowder said this as like a jab at Sam Seder's Jewishness. I actually don't think that's the case. I think Crowder was just trying to be like funny and sort of playful with Sam Seder.
Take off the glasses.
Let's debate.
Don't hide behind the glasses, Sam.
Don't say let's debate, Ethan. You've lost that opportunity.
Ethan's lost the debate. All right, this is sad. This is why we don't
Ethan,
debate.
shut up.
All right, good. You guys are good. Thank you. Appreciate it. Won't even take off the glasses. All right, yeah, you can give it the X. This is just... I knew it. The guy just thought...
Was that all right?
The guy thought that... No, we're still going. The guy thought that we had no... I mean, we have the master... Quarterback, can you put on your microphone?
Yeah.
Is he still on?
We have the master... No, I cut him off. We have the master file. We knew.
Yeah.
And this is exactly what happens. Like someone like a Sam Seder who just...
He didn't even wait.
Alright. This was funny. So, in my opinion, the person who came out the worst in this was H3H3. Like, H3H3 came across as a fucking idiot. Actually, not even an idiot. A complete scumbag. Crowder, in my opinion, didn't look too good either. He did, in my opinion, come across as cowardly, even though, as I said before, I don't think that he's a coward. Ironically enough, I would say Sam Seder won more than anybody else. Because Sam Seder got a lot of views and subscribers because of this whole stupid drama. And he looked the least stupid, in my opinion. So, yeah. This was my review of the Steven Crowder Sam Seder debate, if we can even call it a debate. Signing out.